G'day everyone, welcome along, welcome to Steelhorse Station. I hope everyone's feeling okay this evening. I know Peter's having a bit of a tough time, and our thoughts and prayers go to him and his family. I can see there's potentially a couple of others hiding there in the background, so it's great to have you along. We are heading across to the Oaks again tonight, so we might I think I've got, whoops, not quite started. I need to hit the correct button. And let's see here, we need that screen there and that screen there. Hopefully everything is working properly. Let's just have a look here, make sure I've hit the correct buttons. That looks pretty good. So all things being well, when we get into the game, we should have some success. So if this is your first time joining us on the Oaks, we are with the Putney family. The Oaks is mapped by Farm Sim Brisco. It's only been out for a couple of weeks or so. We did a tour 2 weeks ago, and then we liked it so much we decided to set up shop with the Putney family, and that's what we've been doing. So let's jump in there. So here we are at our house. Now the first thing we're going to do is roll forward to the next day, and I'll explain. Let's just do that first. Yep, let's go to 7 o'clock. So I was just in the process of finishing. It just took me a little bit longer than I expected. Finishing, catching up to where we were. So Farm Sim Brisco has put out a couple of new releases of the map, which have fixed just a couple of small problems. You might recall we haven't really had any issues to speak of in the streams, but nonetheless, I thought we're really kind of at that point where it's the last sensible place that we can take edits. So I took the most up-to-date version of the map, and I'd have to say, in terms of where we're playing, so just to refresh people's memory, this is the PDA, so it's a 4X PC map, and we have set up shop down here. We haven't taken an established farm, but our backstory is that this is what remains of the Putney family holdings. They've been doing it tough. They've got a £950,000 mortgage, a set of aging equipment, and only a handful of fields. Lots of other fields on the map, and we'll get to those later. There are 5 children in the family. They live in this house here where Harold Putney's family has lived for several generations. So Harold and Ma and the 5 kids, John, Paul, George, Ringo, and Penny. And yes, Ma is a Beatles fan. One thing I have done, I thought a family like this, given our scenario, would have a handful of chickens, and you know, there'd be a coop on the farm property, so we've done that. There's only 9 in it, and the sorghum that we harvested off our field, which is sitting in the back of the truck there, is all we've fed them. So that's just one change from last week. The oats we got off our field, so that's sitting there. I can see I've got a few branches popping through the walls, so we have to sort them out. And that's the easiest way to fix branches. So there we go. That looks a bit more normal. So our oats can sit there on the floor until we figure out what we're going to do with them. Our main yard is up here, and it's pretty... I've tried to put it back pretty much exactly the same as it was last week, even though I had to do the update to the map. So our grass is in, which is the main reason I rolled forward the day. So this is the grass we planted last week. And the other field we own is just through the hedge here. And this one's got grass on it. And if we get a chance later today, we will be mowing that one. So one of the things that we can do, we've got some silage clamps here. We've got a big grass field next door. So we need to be getting some grass in to make some silage. Cash is getting a little bit low. We also have a big field here, and given that it's October and we don't really have the resources to work it, no idea what to plant or prep it with, I'm thinking that actually the best thing to do here would be to plant a cover crop of grass that we can then harvest in the new year. Before we plant a spring crop in it, assuming we can get on top of our financial situation by then. So I'm kind of thinking we'll set one of the boys to working on this for us. So if we jump in here and create a job, and that's one of the advantage of 5 kids in their late teens and 20s. We should have plenty of help. Now we are on this map, this field here, and we don't really care where we finish up. Down in this corner is probably as good as any. We want to open the generator. One tool. Let's do 5 headlands. Hi, Jody. Welcome along. Great to have you in. We're just getting some grass seeding happening. So we'll generate the course. That looks pretty good. And you can start off wherever you think you need to go. Now, the other thing, we did have 2 contracts last time, but because I updated the map, I was forced to reset those. So what I've done is pick over here on field 24. I've picked, we were doing this one. We were about halfway through field 2, and I've tried to pick a field that's kind of a similar size, similar value contract, and whilst we're not quite halfway through, we are a quarter, so we're working it with the same 2 bits of equipment, and with any luck we'll get to the end and it'll generate $30,000 for us. And so that's the plan. So let's just jump over there and get those guys restarted. So you can start at the nearest waypoint. I am well, Jody. I've had a good day, thank you. I managed to catch about half of the NFL AFC game, which was very exciting. The second half mainly. So I'm an occasional gridiron watcher when sort of telecasts here in Australia fit, and I wouldn't say that I know any players. I had seen Mahomes play a few times before, so he's a bit of a... I'm quite partial to a good quarterback. in terms of making it interesting to watch. So for those that haven't seen it, I won't give away the result, but let's just say it was exciting. How about you? What did you get up to? And the other vehicle we have is right there, which we can go from here. So because I've got different size pieces of equipment, these tractors are working on slightly different courses, same basic construction, but started the wider plough about 2/3 through, so we kind of just have to keep an eye on them to see how they go. One of the things that we'll need to watch with this guy is he tends, not this guy, this is our seeder. He's doing all right. The light will pick up in a minute. We might just fast forward time just a whisker to get into daylight. There's slightly more light than we've currently got. Are you still playing on Griffin? I think that was where you were based the last time I asked. I should have my Griffin episode, next Griffin episode tomorrow or the next day. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe Wednesday my time. There's a Silver Run Forest episode just uploading HD at the moment, so that should be finished around about the end of the stream and I'll publish that. Right, so I'm guessing, looking at that mini map down here in the corner and where it's up to, that this plough's doing the last headland that I set it to, and then it should come back and fill in this bit that's just sort of got the L shape to it. And we'll have to keep an eye on it because he's gonna get low on fuel, so I've been making a bit of a list of things that we need to get and take care of, and one of those is the ability to deliver fuel to our tractors in the field. We're going to get a few contracts, and that's clearly something that we're going to need, so we might really take care of that straight away. Now, might as well leave the seed in the little trailer. Let's have a look in the store. I guess we're going to make a decision what how we're going to go about this. So I don't think we can afford a tender of that sort of size, or, you know, one of my favorites is this service trailer. They're just a bit too expensive. We could go for this reusable diesel tank at 1800. In fact, that looks quite like a promising proposition. It's just a basic IBC. The idea being there's no pipes or hoses on it. That's the only thing. So just missing a bit on the realism side of things. Or we could go for a 3-point mounted tractor tank. That's going to be pretty heavy to put on any of our current tractors if it's full of fuel. So three odd tons of diesel. The fuel safe is a similar sort of idea, a bit smaller but similar sort of price. A few more lifting options. What else did I find? They're probably the main ones. I don't think that tank takes diesel. It does not. Don't think I've got anything in trailers. Just zoom through here to have a quick look. No. What about loaders? No. Animals sometimes, but they don't typically take fuel. That's water, 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 no fuel, water, everything but. John Senior, welcome along. Good morning. Hope you're feeling sprightly ahead of the coming week. I'm just trying to think, where else do they hide tankers? Slurry tanks. They're only for slurry. There's no fuel in there. So I think that's for manure. So I think we're back. Oh, the other place there might be is... That's good to hear. Have you been with us on the Oaks in either of the last couple of weeks, or are you joining this stream for the first time? Well, that'd be pretty handy if we had the money, but we don't. One of those things where it'd be really handy to see if we could get our hands on $42,000 to pick up that wagon, although we don't have a tractor big enough to tow it at the moment. Excellent. So what I'm thinking is we might be forced... Maybe we go with... we're saving now. What do people think? I think we're in the territory of either this palletized one or one of these two. As much as I like the 3,000 litre one, it just strikes me as unrealistically large for the equipment that we've got to put it on. So I'm kind of leaning back towards this Lizard Fuel Safe, which kind of looks the part, although it doesn't have any hoses on it either. Do I have? That's a good question. In tools. The other options are not, might be under containers. There's only fixed ones there. Okay. It's the two that I've selected. We have to make a decision. So I am going to go with the IBC for now. And so what we'll do is take our trailer and we can drop it in the back. So we'll head over to the shop. And see how we go. Now I've just got to remember the way to the store. I know it's sort of vaguely in that direction. There's our cedar in the Why do we keep doing that? It's really annoying, that camera collision. Okay, we'll sit in the car. So I wanted to get this sorted before we took on any more contracts. You know, whilst it's all well and good to ramp up a whole bunch of contracts that keep all our tractors working, I think we need to be making sure that we're kind of set up at least a little part for the business that we've got. And so having the two of our kids running the contract on field 24, knowing that they're probably going to run out of fuel before they finish it, means it brings fuel to be a priority. So we'll go and take care of that for them. And it's a nice day for a drive in the countryside anyway. Jack Sarge painting, welcome along. How is the Apple Isle this evening? For those that haven't met Jack Sarge before, he joins us from sometimes sunny Tasmania. It's good to hear. Now, from this intersection, I think I need to go left. Where are we? We're here. No. Yes, we are. So we'll keep scooching across here. After the fuel tank, the next big thing on the list, and it's a bit of a toss-up, kind of chicken and egg, is a bigger tractor and a forage wagon. I don't really want to get small forage wagon, but our largest tractor's an older Massey, the 3610, and it only puts out about 180 horses. So it's a limit to what it can pull in terms of a forage wagon. That second-hand forage wagon's a beauty, but we'd need a 250 horse tractor to run it. So a few decisions to make. Now, why do I feel like I'm not in the part of the map I think I am? Oh no, I am. I've just got to turn right and then I've got 2 roundabouts and up to the store. So I thought I had grabbed a couple more. There's definitely a couple of jerry cans that you can get. So old World War II surplus style, and they come in both plastic and steel. And whoops, I'm on the wrong side of the road. Let's try and do this properly. Too much time playing Farm Sim in Europe and North America. There's also a plastic box which is about 540 litres maybe, that goes in the back of a ute. Well, it can go anywhere. You can pick it up with pallet forks when it's full. That would potentially have done. I've used it before. I was also trying for something, and I'm not sure I achieved it. I was looking for something that seems like it would fit on the Putney's farm. So the idea that they've got an IBC that you can refuel kind of fits. Yeah, the plastic one that I'm thinking of has a digital readout. We might find, in fact, this IBC we're grabbing has a digital readout on it as well. Like, people then tend to want to do that. We can just see how it goes. If we don't like it, we can trade out of it. Now, the other thing that I haven't quite got set up right is you'll see the wage payment. We've only got 2 workers running, and it strikes me that it's probably slightly high for 2 family workers. So but the mod that I grabbed doesn't quite work the way I hope, so I've just got a little bit. Oh no, Peter, no power at all. That's no good. It's stuck around here. No worries, John. I really appreciate you popping in. Great to see you. Have a good day at work. Now, the other thing I just realized that I hadn't done, I was going to, oh, actually, that's where there's one of the jerry cans. Ah, okay, here you go. These were the other ones that I was looking for. Maybe something like one of those might be better. They're a fraction cheaper. They got nothing in it. That's why. Pre-filled with fuel. Good morning, Mark Taylor. Welcome along. What's that? 1,500 litres. Colour. We could put red for fuel. What colour's the additive in diesel? The colour additive. You can tell I don't drive a diesel vehicle. They look a bit. It's like these are your emergency ones. You can put 20 litres. They come filled and then they go away when you use them. I am thinking that we just go with this guy for now. That's got a digital readout on it, which is probably excessive. Is it blue in the UK? Could be blue. We'll go with that. That's kind of a bluish tint. What about? There we go. That will do the job. So we're going to get one of those. It's yellow in Australia. Thank you very much, Jason. Welcome. We'll go with blue. And I'll do some more research. I should know the answers to these questions. So now we need fuel in it. Let's have a look. Where did it go? Now I'm tipping that empty, I can pick it up. Oh. And I think to get in it, we need to now go to a fuel station. We also need to do a bit of maintenance on this landy. Where is the fuel station on this map? We have fuel back at our... have I got one up here? Grain, drive-through workshop, vehicle shop, sawmill. There's going to be one somewhere. There we go. Over the gas station over there, which is actually not that far past where our guys are working. So let's head to there. Let's turn you on. On Google, it says it's red for the UK. Yeah. We can potentially change it in our workshop. In fact, we could do that here, couldn't we? Where is the workshop trigger? If it's not, is that it there? There we go. Oh, really? You get that wheel caught on the door. You couldn't make that up. What? How can I not back out the line that I was on? There we go. Now, the question is, where is the trigger? Let's have a look. There'll be a trigger in this workshop, one we expect. It's over there. How about that? The whole room is a trigger. Customize. Make you red. That'll do. It's kind of reddish. What's that red? No. Go really red. There you go. It looks kind of right. Another 15 bucks to make it the right color. There we go. We are sympathetic. I'm not going to try and back out of there because that just do my head in. Now, turn you off. Let's go to the fuel station. Hey, Farmer Ed. Thank you very much. Great to see you. Thank you for the like. We will be doing some more on your auto drive course shortly, but for now we're doing our own driving. Have I got a camera collision set differently here? Reset vehicle camera. Yeah. Dynamic camera vehicle. That's the one I want. I think that's better. Right. Please stop doing that. It is so annoying. Okay, let's navigate the roundabout on the correct side. Now we're going to get camera collisions all over the place. Wages. Time for a drink. Okay, and we can see the fuel station up there. Coming up on the left, I think we'll see the field that we drive past it, maybe not. That our tractors are working in. Yeah, one over. Just on the left. Certainly some big fields. You really notice the difference when you've been playing a standard map for a while and you get on one like this where Farmer Brisco's spent a lot of time making the fields at least medium, if not large. And whilst there's plenty of features on the map, they don't take up all the space. So you really notice the difference moving across from, say, something like Silver Run, where, you know, the usable part of the map is relatively small because things like the rivers and the placeables take up so much real estate. Now we're coming into the village. I hope that's not too hard to watch with that camera wheel. It could well be a feature of this trailer for some reason. Oops, the trees are a bit annoying. Let's go back in cab. Got to turn left up here somewhere, I think. Can I edit worker wages? I can edit worker wages. I just hadn't quite figured out how the calculation worked, because what I'm planning to do is rewrite the mod a little bit to give it, for example, so that it's the helper administration and it requires you to have the same number of men as women, for example. Well, our family is not set up like that, so I need to make that a little bit different. So I had a go at doing it, and I was actually giving it a go just before I went and grabbed some dinner. Where am I going here? And I messed it up and I didn't get a chance to correct it. Right, next left. But it's definitely a doable thing. As you can see, the migration from the older version of the map, or the original version of the map, wasn't too catastrophic. So if people are interested in assistance on doing that, I can talk through the process I used later on. I sort of took the middle ground, copied a couple of things across, and basically just started a new game and imported a couple of things. Nice little village. Right, here is the fuel station. I'm not sure that we got up to this part of the town when we did our sort of first look tour. Oh, there's a big curb there. Let's find out. Yep, we can buy fuel here, so typically with these you've got to enter them and then you can refill them, which is what's happening. So we'll fill that up. It is actually putting red coloured liquid in it, so I probably didn't need to worry about the frame colour, but it just helps tidy it up. It's not a bad animation. Probably would have been happy with an analog gauge on it, but given you can see through it, just some markings on the side probably would have done the trick. Rightio. So let's is there a quick way across to our field from here? Where are we? Here. Yes, there is. So we can get into the field over here. And they're both going to be coming towards me shortly. So let's do that. We've also got a bunch of straw bales to get off the field that we finished last time. Around here, around to the left. I haven't done an enormous amount of driving in country UK, but this does feel quite like places I remember. Now, which one? That road up there. Once we've topped them off, we'll leave them to it and go and get the straw bales out of the field. We've got sorghum and oats that we'll be able to sell when the price is right. We've probably got a couple more months before those prices max. Which is why the main other thing we need to be doing is getting the crop off. Yeah, is this... Where are we? We're there. This is our field. Let's see here. Yes, that's true. And an old Jag that's going way too far. Jags and stags, as I recall. Mustard seeds, welcome along. Great to have you in. Hope you are well. Let's just top you up, although you're doing all right for fuel. Can I top you up from the... Yes, I can. Excellent. That's what we want. A well-behaved tanker. Hope you've been well and had a good start to the week, Mustard Seed. Everything is kind of kicking off. It was certainly much busier here today. It feels like everybody's finished their summer holidays and back at school and doing all those sorts of things. Of course, for the tennis watchers, that all finished yesterday. Yeah, I was pretty happy with how the defender came up. It's my only disappointment is that I would have liked the troop carrier. The long wheelbase just would have felt, but I couldn't find one. I got taken to many activities in the bush in a long wheelbase that looked remarkably like this one. Maybe not with the red bonnet. Now let's see. Let's pull up and grab this guy. He's going to turn around in just a sec. You've certainly got a smaller tank. I was quite pleased with both the wear pattern that the modder has spent a lot of time on. You refuel too far away maybe, and the ability to put a mismatched bonnet on it. Just felt that really topped it off. Okay, so you can zip along there. I reckon based I reckon we'll leave the defender here and we'll tab across, just because if I drive it back, I know I'm going to have to bring it back. So let's, yeah, what have we got here in terms of vehicles? You'll be big enough to take bale trailer into the fields, but you probably won't be heavy enough to pull it. Oh, you don't have a front. You've got a little front weight on you already. Pop you in the fields. We'll come back and get the little 3-cylinder with the front loader on it. How's our seeder going? You know what's going to happen, because I've got the seed in the other trailer. Our seeder's going to run out of seed, and all my seed's sitting over in the field where we're doing the contract. Whoops. Now, where's somewhere central? Whoa, it doesn't like the weight or the hitch. Can I make that hitch any lower? Cannot. That'll do. No, our seeder has got 20 litres left. There you go. That wasn't a bad guess. So for those that weren't here at the beginning, what we've decided to do is we weren't ready to prep this field for seeding a crop. So we're just putting grass in as a cover crop, which will give us, in the new year, plenty of grass to put in our bunker silos, which may be our best bet for making money in the short term. Now, I'm gonna whack that weight on there if I can. Just because if I pick up a barrel on the front, I'm tipping it'll be too heavy. Yes. Oh, open you up. Nope. X, there we go. And for some reason, my joystick has decided not to work today. Taking a holiday. So it looks like we're completely on keyboard. Let's just see how this goes. So far so good. Alignment is not tremendous. Oh, surprised myself. No. We'll whack these on. Ah. back. A little tractor. I have a one of the Cytec side panels that I use just for this sort of job usually. I bought it because it seemed like very early on I was going to need a million buttons, but I've never really kind of gotten into it because it takes my hands away from the mouse. So, and I haven't what I've never done, I blew up my wheel or wore it out, whichever way you want to look at it, in the first few months of getting Farm Sim. To be fair, it was a 10-year-old wheel. And since getting the new one, when I started streaming, I haven't actually sat down and figured out what button layout I want on the wheel. So consequently, I use lots of mouse, a little bit of joystick, and I drive with the wheel. Now there. Oh, don't you dare. I did try, and I do have a PlayStation controller, but I haven't found a combination that works the way that I like. The wheel makes an amazing difference. The difference between trying to drive with a keyboard and wheel and pedals is night and day. And let's just put you on there. I think if I hadn't had a wheel, I probably, well, first of all, if I hadn't had a wheel, I would have been a lot more proficient with a controller. But, you know, suffice to say, I have been gaming a long time, and I had a wheel before because I've always enjoyed driving sim games of one description or another, and I had a wheel way before I had a PlayStation in the house. PlayStation only really, PlayStation 3 came along when the kids required one. At least that was my excuse anyway. Not fair. It's better. Now, put you down that way. Well, that's good value. If you're still running FS19, you've gotten your money's worth. Given that I didn't use, come on, which way's up? No, it's one I want. Ah, that's why. Down there, and then That, whoops. Why did you pull out rather than over? That's interesting. You're going to be a pain if I try and drop you on there, aren't you? You don't rotate. Oh, yes, you do. Get out of it. Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. So whilst that's super strength moving that, I have got and am trying out just because I thought it was cool. Is it R? I think it might be. Push bale. There you go. Oop. And pull bale. No. Turn off super strength. But I've got the rollable bale mod on, which is very cool. But super strength is interrupting it. No, why is it not? It was working beautifully before. Let's hang on to it. Super strength is disabled. So that's super strength doing that. Well, I was intending to demonstrate, but the roll bale mod, when it's working properly, is really neat. You can roll round bales. This is interesting. So something is upsetting. I reckon there's a mod conflict. Push bale. There we go. No, it's picked it up again. Well, that's not what I intended. But notwithstanding, it would appear to be interacting with super strength. It's actually works really well. I ended up building this PC in November or the end of October when I blew my old one up. I was rendering a video for Adelshoven and I went to get a cup of coffee and I came back and all the lights were out. There was nothing on the screen. And I thought, that's not good. It was dead. I'd cooked it. So I ended up having to build the first PC that I've built in many years, which was itself a novel experience. Did you find yours an enjoyable experience, Mustard Seed, or was it frustrating? Come on. That one, that one, that one, that one. And that one. Why will you not? That's what I want. Two dead on arrival components in my build didn't help reduce my stress levels, that's for sure. And it was yeah, I knew I needed, for what I was trying to do with the channel, I needed more horsepower than I would otherwise have got, and to buy it pre-configured the way I wanted was gonna be fairly expensive. And I just convinced myself that I should have the technical capability, and really there was no reason not to do it, and it was a good project. And the only added complication was, of course, I was, you know, I'd started the channel, and so having got a couple of people that were looking, and it literally was only a handful in October, I didn't want to suddenly disappear, but I had no, without building a new PC, I had no way of dating them. So that just meant that the week it took me to get on top of things, it was a bit stressful, especially, as I say, when the motherboard was dead on arrival, and the water cooling for the processor set fire to the cabling. Which was more excitement than I needed in a day. But thankfully the supplier didn't bat an eyelid, seemed to think that these things happen, and placed the bits. No worries, Peter. I understand, and I was really sorry to hear your news. I just hope you and the family can work together to find your way through it, mate. You take it easy. I will. I'll be here tomorrow as well. I went for one of the all-in-one coolers. They work really well, and as long as you well, as long as it's sealed properly, you're not gonna do yourself any damage. Water cooling's much more efficient than just relying on fans. What was really interesting though is the new chips are so darn hot. Yeah, see, my joystick doesn't want to play ball at all, and now I can't. I'd learnt that, so little things like so I went for an i9 processor, which is a slightly bigger form factor, and the cooling heads with the pre-applied paste, thermal paste, aren't quite big enough, and so there's not enough paste on them. But if you think, oh, you know, I'll just take it straight out of the box, which is what some of the YouTubers tell you to do, and just run with that, you should be fine. Well, I've got to tell you, if you do that with a 9.9, I'm pretty confident you'll cook the chip eventually, because there was a good 20 to 25 degrees Celsius difference between the operating temperature with that out of the packet paste and with a liberal layer that I applied myself. And when that 25 degrees C is the difference between 95 and 70 at load, that's a big difference. But anyway, they were all learnings. It's not the tidiest bale stack you've ever seen in your life, is it? And if you're just running Farm Sim, I reckon that's fine. The thing that makes mine really work hard is doing this. So running a decent resolution and streaming simultaneously works both the graphics card and the processor pretty hard. And running the editing software, particularly rendering, that runs everything flat out. It's kind of like the more horsepower you can throw at it, the better. So but if you're just running Farm Sim to play, yeah, that sort of config sounds fine. I mean, it's a little unfortunate that Giants don't work a little harder to have a version of Farm Sim that can actually use the hardware that's out there. Right now, well, we've just about got these off. Not surprisingly, our seeder has run out of seeds. Now, let's see here. Oh, get out. There we go. Little bit of judicious. Of course it did. Oh, I can't do that because I don't have rotate. Oh, come on. How do you do that? don't know why I've lost the axis control here. Something has definitely upset my mouse. Maybe that's why my joystick's not working properly. I've probably got auto load on this trailer, but I'm not confident this tractor will be able to pull it, so we might leave you there for the minute. Let's go and check in on our... So we know you're out of seed. You're out. You're struggling through. Where's the other one? As are you. You've got plenty of fuel. It's all right. So we're definitely undergunned for this work. That's the conclusion I would reach. You're going to get quite a lot further with that fuel. What's the other one looking like? So I think we take the seed back. Rebuilt rig when we get the next tax refund. I reckon if you shop around, you can do okay for pre-built stuff at the minute. Because chip prices have come right down. You certainly don't need to be buying the latest and greatest graphics card because they just run too hot anyway. So I would have thought that I'm running a 3080, but if you were just doing a home, you might comfortably get away with a 3060 or even a 3070, depending on your price point. I had a 2070 Super before I blew it up, and it was terrific for Farm Sim. Like, was able to do everything that I wanted. So now where are we trying to go to? Let's just check out while we save. The easiest way to get home is to follow the road down through town. Scorpec is where I bought all my stuff, and they were fine. I haven't looked at any of their pre-builds, but I would have thought anything with either an i5 or an i7, and an i5 should do fine. 16 mega memory would be preferable. It doesn't need to be super great. A decent SSD. Even 2. pretty little village. Team Red's laptop was Team Green. There you go. Pleasant Few Farms, how are you, sir? Welcome along. Good to see you. We're back on the Oaks again this evening. I'm just trying to not get lost here. Where's this intersection? I want to go right there. Whoops. Did I make it? Yes. That looks like it should be a pub on the corner there. Ducknod. Whoa, almost. Welcome along. Why do I feel like I actually took the wrong turn? I don't know. Oh, well, I did. I missed one. I should have gone left. Okay, next left. Too busy trying to read chat at the same time. Switching images doing my head in, so it must be really annoying you guys. Right, it's around here. Oh, smaller laneway. Now is about time we run into that Ford Transit van, Jack Sarge. One of these roads. Either that or you get some dirty great tractor pulling a really big piece of farm equipment. And then you have to back up 400 meters because he can't. Now, where's the field that I want? Is it just me or have I just disappeared? I came around there. Yeah, I'm there. Right. So I want to come in to my field here. Now, I want to go that way. My tractor's just through the hedge there, so I just need a driveway. Which I can't remember where it is for this field. It's probably all the way down the bottom. And somewhere back over here. Is our tractor. There it is. That's what I need. Nice big fill up zone on there. Okay, we're still set for grass. Off you go. So our contract on field 1 is basically where we got up to at the end of the last, sorry, on field 24 is where we got up to on the end of the last episode. So what we might, I don't remember. I wonder if our truck has a hitch that'll pull that bale trailer. Before we do that, it's just so we've got 180,000 litres of straw and it's selling at 77. Now it's going to keep going up. Let's have a look here. Straw. And we're not going to get a lot more out of it. So we probably rather than worry about taking it off the trailer, we could probably just sell it. I'm going to leave this trailer here. I don't know if I've got enough weight in the landy to pull that bale trailer or not. And I don't know if our grain truck has a hitch on the back of it. We can go over and check that out in a second. You look like you're riding ridiculously high there. Well, you're not behaving, that's for sure. Okay. Which is not entirely unreasonable. Where's the... There it is. You do not have a hitch on the back. How unreasonable. What full border truck that can't tow? Okay. I don't think it's entirely the defender's fault. It'd be nice to be able to adjust the tow. These low hitches really ought to come with adjustment on the hitch side rather than expect the tow vehicle to have it. Either that, or modders should just put adjustable hitches on all the vehicles. Oh, absolutely. The idea of a truck without a hitch just makes no sense to me at all in an agri setting. But anyway. But I'm pretty confident I can't tow this. You know, just look at the wheel spin I'm getting on the back. It's just going to push me all over the place. And if I put more weight on the front of the trailer, I'll have different problems. I suspect. I could try. Let's see. Let's grab another bale. Is there one over there? There are... Scan, scan, scan. There's one over here. Oh, didn't launch it. And that's how I lose my... Yep, no mouse control. How about that? So if I put you forward, like so, we'll put one more and see if the extra weight forward makes any difference whatsoever. I'm probably expecting way too much out of the trailer modder, but you never know. They might have a dynamic calculation. Yes. Yeah, decent Hilux. Mind you though, Land Cruiser would be better. The big V8. Put one more up there. Let's see if that makes any difference. Not looking like it. Almost no rear traction, which is bizarre. So by my count, I've got 12 bales forward of the axles and 6 bales behind them, yet magically all the weight is all over the back. Go figure that out. We're going to have to wait till the Massey is finished, although with this trailer balance, I'm not even sure the Massey will pull it. I'll have to get one of those adjustable tows for the Massey to give it any chance, I'd reckon. Does the Landy allow for manual gear change? Probably. Yes. But I've only got 6 by the looks. Yeah, I've got no low range. It's not gearing that's the issue, it's the vector that the trailer's applying to the unweighted rear axle. Because the front's actually pulling it quite nicely. Well, it's sufficiently bad. I might as well put the other... two bales on. Thank you. Maybe if I stand on there, it'll make a difference. Okay. So that's all the bales off that field, isn't it? Right. Let's put the tractor back. I don't mind our little yard tractor. I was quite pleased with that, the way that performed in there. 4-wheel drive would have been a bit of an advantage at times, but that handled everything that we threw at it pretty well, so I think it'll work nicely in the yard over here. Here we are. Rightio. So now, unfortunately, I think you're only about 100 horses, aren't you? What is it? It's the 3707. Am I right? Is that about 100? Let's have a look. Where are we? 3707 is 75, not even. 58. I've got 150. That's on the 4-tine plow. So I basically need one of those tractors that we've got ploughing back so that we can mow this field next door. I'll suffer down the road with the Landy and at least get that trailer full of bales in the barn. Oh. And that's our trailer with seed in it. Whichever kid we've got working the seeding is going to be there for a while. It's a little better behaved on the road. I could probably get it to market. We might do that next time. Quite going to get through there, are you? I'll get half of them in the shed. It looks the part though. Right. So, now was I looking at mowers, wasn't I? Because I don't really want to just do it with the front mower. And I know it won't run both of them. Okay. What other contracts are available? Let's have a look at that. Maybe there's something else that we can make money more quickly. So if you're not familiar, the part of the thing here is because we're struggling and seen of struggling in the neighborhood, none of the farmers will lend us any equipment. So I'm actually running a mod which removes all of the equipment from the contracts. Obviously we can't do any fertilizing at the moment because we don't have a spreader nor the fertilizer. Somewhere in the nearer term, being able to do lime contracts might be pretty handy. We can't take another ploughing contract or a spraying contract. What about, there was a cultivating contract there, wasn't there? How big's that field? Yeah, see, 17 hectares, that's still 2 tractors worth. Field 13, where is that? Up near the store. That's still a big field. If it was something more the size of field 8, I'd be inclined to tackle it. Or something like field 69. What about... I haven't been looking at harvest contracts, but we actually have a harvester sitting there. Oh, they're all gone, are they? Oh no, there we go. $100,000 potato contract? Don't think so. Field 46. We do not have a sunflower header, so that rules those out. Okay, so unless we pull one of the tractors off the ploughing. How are we going here? Coming along with the seeding. Finish that next time, so that we'll get it all, this field all seeded before the end of November, so that's okay. And then well, actually, it looks like the smaller tractor is just about finished, and we could leave the larger plough running on that section over there and bring this one back and do our mowing. That might be the go. Because I reckon next time, oh, I'm running clock way faster than I meant to. Although I suppose we're getting the swing of things. 6 times is actually a good time for a stream because it works out the right. Let's take you off there. Yes, I think I'll just finish this wedge and then send you back to the yard to hook up with the mowers, because you can run at least, well, you've got a chance of being able to run both of them, so we'll see how we go. That's not bad. This contract's worth $30,000 to us, so it's worth the pain of grinding through it, even with equipment that's too small. But it does tell us that this is about the size limit for our gear at the minute. For those that were here at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned I'd put a small chicken coop with 9 chooks in the yard for at the house, because I figured a family like this just would have chickens. It's just a given. And I also figured they'd have 1 or 2 cows roaming around their sort of home yard. So I'm just trying to figure out how to actually do that. I figure if I put find a spot where I can put one of the free range cow pens and just put 1 or 2 cows in it, that'll fit the bill. Not intended to be a money-making thing, or just for a realistic reflection of what the family would have. Evening, Argsy Gaming. How are you, sir? Thank you very much for dropping in. It's very much appreciated. I did enjoy caught up on replay with your logging league shenanigans on the weekend. That was quite entertaining. Even if you did have some problems with those pesky containers. We're still enjoying ourselves here on the Oaks. The Putneys are getting themselves a little bit better established and set up. Maybe is definite maybe, Argsy. I've got a couple of commitments that aren't going to fit the time schedule in the next couple of weeks, but beyond that, possibly. I'm up for giving it a go. I kind of go to the Kermit school of it's more important to be in it than good. And it definitely looked like fun. There's no doubt about that. For those that haven't been watching the Logging League, it's worth checking out on Argsy's channel, as is he's done a map tour for this map, so worth having a look at. Pretty sure the link is in the first episode, or the first stream I did on this map. Ah, wrong button. Would be great. It's going to be set up so it can miss. Oh, right. Understand. Yeah, I understood your description of that last week. It made perfect sense to me that you would approach it that way. I don't see that as a limitation. I think it makes sense. So it'll be, or just while I think of it, so I take it all of that water that fell in New Zealand was a long way north of you. Hopefully not too much impact to friends or family. I did recognise some of the places where bits of the mountain fell away. Those houses looked like they were having far too much excitement for one lifetime. running, oops, hit the wrong button again. We're running low on daylight, which probably is a good indication we're running out of stream time as well. And so our foray into the grass field might have to wait until, does that not want to go down? There we go. Might have to wait until next time. We might leave, I'm not sure if it's John, Paul, George or Ringo on the other tractor over there, but we might leave them going for a little bit longer. As the sun sets on that field behind us, splendid in the green. Whoop, trying to drive in a straight line. So I might leave it there. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Very much appreciated. Yeah. I've spent many hours in the Auckland terminal, but that won't have been pleasant. Natural disasters aren't fun, regardless of whether you're in the middle of it or not. So I'm glad she's home okay. But as I was saying, that'll do it. I'll be back in about 10.5 hours for our regular stream on Newlands. So it'll be Tuesday morning, 8 AM Australian Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time, and Monday evening US and Europe. So until then, everybody take care, stay safe, have fun. See ya.